Bhagavad Gita for the New Age, Art of Action, Episode 6, The Path of Knowledge. Information can be gained by reading, but knowledge has to be earned through experience. So we set out on the path of action and path of devotion where we follow instructions from a leader. Then we reach a stage where we want to understand the purpose of our lives. Is it achieving happiness for myself, for my loved ones, for all living beings in the world? How can I contribute to make the world a better place? Can I see the greater good and comprehend the true nature of the universe? This is the path of knowledge. To understand ourselves, we must understand our behavior. People have three natural tendencies, the three gunas. Tamas, it literally means darkness. This is the tendency when we see only the surface and don't go into the details. It is as if we are blinded by darkness. This doesn't mean such persons have dark tendencies. It means that they look only at symptoms and react rather than act. The tamas tendency deludes a person and binds him with false sense of comfort. So, we need to review and go into details where possible. Rajas. This is the second tendency and it means grains of sand or details. This is when we dig below the surface and want to understand all related aspects. Such people are data driven and they evaluate pros and cons of everything. They are very action oriented and hence may not have the patience to reach the full depth. The Rajas tendency entraps a person with attachment or intoxication of action. There is the danger that they miss the core truth. So, in such situations, we must evaluate the urgency, take a pause, see beyond the obvious and try to reach the root, the core. Sattva. This is the third tendency and it means the core. Such people have clarity and do not stop till they reach the core truth. They cut through the noise and are not bogged down by information overload. These people are driven by pure, shining core principles. However, they also can get lured by pride of superior knowledge and get swayed by happiness. Reaching the core is similar to root cause analysis carried out as per the principles of total quality management. Don't be misled by the symptoms. Ask why many times till you reach the root. Problems are like weeds. If you keep cutting the leaves, they'll keep growing back. Unless you reach the root and eliminate the underlying issue, the problem is not solved. Root cause of any problem in the world is lack of knowledge or lack of attention. Knowledge plus attention equals to no rework. People of all gunas can escape the cycle of rework. We may have specific natural method learned, implemented and practiced over the years. We cannot change that overnight. However, if we become aware of our natural tendency, it will help in reviewing and adjusting our response in crucial situations. This is called self-refinement. Tamas type of behavior is driven by craving, comfort, fear, or sense of missing out. The result is delusion. The reward is false hope or ignorant bliss. Such people don't learn from their mistakes and are stuck in a cycle of rework. They are reborn for penance as underlings or subspecies further down in the evolution chain. So, see beyond the symptoms and go into details. And don't procrastinate. Rajas type are driven by desire and success. They can be ruthless towards achieving the fruit of action. They have star power. Many a times this tendency is associated with royal behavior. But Rajas doesn't mean Raja or the king. Rajas means grains of sand or details. The result is greed and hunger for more. The reward is fruit of action and restlessness for the next target. This type of behavior traps the person in a repeating loop, addicted to the high of success. They are reborn to experience life again as a hero and reach even higher. Yet, ultimate happiness may elude them. So, understanding the core truth and avoiding attachment to the fruit is what is essential. The Sattva types are driven by knowledge and inquisitiveness. The result is wisdom. The reward is satisfaction and happiness. This approach is more likely to achieve an optimized process, no rework, and a zero defect result. They are reborn in a glorious world as noble beings in order to ultimately achieve perfection. They can escape the cycle of rebirth if they learn how to avoid ego and recognize that the real Sutradhar, the true master of action, is the all-powerful supreme cosmic energy. Self-refinement and continuous improvement are possible if we understand our behavior. Gita describes the habits of all these three types. Let us see whether we can interpret these and correlate them with preferences and practices of today's generation. What type of food do these three types prefer? Sattva prefers food that is fresh, nourishing, organic, and pleasant. Rajas prefer fast food, spicy, pungent, and exciting. Tamas prefer comfort food. How does each type perform action? Sattva are driven by duty. They perform unattached action. Rajas are driven by reward, while Tamas by fear. How do these types exercise restraint or control over their senses? Sattva type practice restraint out of faith. Rajas type do that for obtaining praise or recognition, and Tamas type do out of fear of criticism. Now, how do these each type make donations? Sattva type donate selflessly. Rajas type donate with expectation of return favors. And Tamas type donate for the wrong reasons, such as pity. Better is to donate or volunteer through an NGO for the upliftment of the underprivileged. This is of the Sattva type. All of us have a mix of all these three tendencies, and these are expressed in different combinations and proportions at different times, depending on the context. If we become aware of our natural tendency, it will help in reviewing and adjusting our response in crucial situations.